Hey, kia ora, Marky with another mini rant. I was going to shoot 2 other videos actually, but this came up in the moment. So I thought it'd be sort of good to be in the moment, particularly when it comes to ranting. So this is part of the Room 101 series, which of course is a nod to George Orwell, author of 1984 and Animal Farm and other things that nobody else ever reads or talks about. Just those 2, isn't it? And I'm guilty, they're the only ones I've read. Room 101, so you know, the bête noire, what really annoys you. So this came up, it was a Christian post that I was watching that referred to a prayer crusade, you know, and it just fucking drives me nuts how mindless that is to actually use the term crusade in a religious sense, knowing what the Crusades actually were. You know, the Crusades, you know, was you know, so okay, the different versions of the story, you know, depending on who you listen to, that the Muslims who were in control of Jerusalem at that point were harassing Christian pilgrims, and therefore you know, the Pope commissioned, if you like, that's kind of a very modern word for it, commissioned a war to liberate Jerusalem, and there were beliefs along the lines of all sins would be forgiven if you fought this war. So what happened was that soldiers on their way to fight in the Crusades, I mean, it's complicated, there were several Crusades and it's a complicated issue, and I'm vastly oversimplifying, so if you're a historian, you know, you can put some notes in the comments, tell us a bit more. But in very broad strokes, it was kind of promised that people would have salvation if they fought in the Crusades. So on the way to the Crusades, they committed all kinds, even before they encountered a Muslim, while they were still in Christian lands, they were committing rape and theft and atrocity on the way. You know, so this is just like kind of football hooliganism times, you know, football hooliganism mixed with kind of religious fanaticism. You know, it's kind of absolutely terrifying. You know, so this really nasty, bloody battle, you know, which was supposed to be Christian. Can you imagine Jesus kind of saying, "Yeah, that's a good idea. You know, let's kill the bastards. Let's, you know, let's get. And it doesn't matter what you do on the way. You know, you can fill your boots, mate. You know, kind of rape women, steal, slaughter. As long as you fight this war for me, we're good, and you'll be all right. You've got a seat in heaven." And today, you know, we've got this Muslim Islamophobia going on, you know, and that drives me nuts because it's a very small minority of you know, Islamic terrorism, but particularly people in America, I'm sorry, I'm going to name names, people in America are so ill-informed that they think that Muslims, you know, are all fundamentalists, they're all evil, they're all, you know, well, actually Christianity and Islam have the same roots. Okay, so Christians and Muslims have got far more in common than anything else. And yes, there are things about Islam that I don't like. There are things about Christianity that I don't like. But, you know, we need to live together, you know, and anything that raises these hatreds, and particularly words like crusade, you know, just don't fucking use that word, okay? Because if you know, you know, if you look at the history of it, it means an awful lot. It's an incredibly loaded word, and it is about religious hatred. It's about Christians hating and feeling justified in attacking Muslims, and that's what's happening today, okay? And it frightens the death out of me, okay? It really does. And, you know, yes, you know, you might not know your history, but if you purport to be a Christian, you know, that's all based on history. You know, the scriptures are history. You know, what Jesus said was history. What happened was history. So there's no excuse, okay? There's no excuse if you're basing your actions on scriptures, if you're basing them on church teachings. Church teachings are historical, and so were the Crusades. And the Crusades were an atrocity. Okay, they were 2 people that believed in the same God, killing each other. Okay, so that's just one part of it, and the other part is, of course, all the behaviours that took place on the way to the Crusades. Okay, that justification that, you know, as long as you fight this war, whatever you do is okay. Think of, you know, just how horrible that was. Okay, and this could all happen again. In fact, on some level it is happening again. You know, Islamophobia is just the same as the anti-Semitism that Hitler rose to power on the back of. It's all happening again. History is repeating itself. People are blind, people aren't seeing this. We need to wake up, people, because, you know, concentration camps are only just around the corner. Okay, so I might seem a bit picky using, you know, criticizing people for using the word, particularly Christians. So what triggered this today was so there's a Christian website talking about a prayer crusade, and you know, some of us couldn't let that go, had to challenge that. So that's why. Okay, don't use the word crusade if you're a Christian. And I think there's lots of people that say they're Christians, but very few are. You know, many are called, but few are chosen. I think many people think they're Christians, but they're not. You know, when if they get to heaven, then Jesus is going to say, "Nope, I didn't know you, because you're Islamophobic. you didn't love your neighbour. You judged everyone." Okay, so there's a huge amount of hatred being done in the name of Christianity at the moment. Okay, so remove the log from your own eyes first if you consider yourself to be a Christian, before you start attacking people from other religions. Okay, because it's the same God, we're all the same people. It doesn't matter whether we have different beliefs or not. We don't have to like each other's beliefs. Okay, but you know, I think Jesus did say something along the lines of love one another. You know, did I get that wrong? Or, you know, or was it more kind of, you know, judge one another, kill one another in my name? Okay, so might sound picky. You know, people use the word, people forget the meaning of the word crusade. Okay, but the Crusades were a bloodbath. The Crusades were a justification of two different religions to butcher each other. And you know, is this how we want to be? Do we want to be inspired by this kind of stuff? You know, do we want to live life like this? Do we want to have a world full of hate because people are different? No, okay? Don't have to like differences, okay? There's things that we like, you know, we all have preferences, but the answer isn't to spread hate. The answer isn't to go to war. The answer isn't, you know, to even begin to justify some of the things that have been done in the past in the name of religion. Okay, so if ever there was a good word to end this video on, it would be Rangi Marie. Rangi Marie.